Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Marta and I'll be your
Waalaikumsalam.
moderator for today's session. This presentation is
Waalaikumsalam
a part
warahmatullahi
of our finals for the English for Business course under the guidance of our lecturer, Dr. Misdi SPD MPD. The theme for today's final presentation is extensive reading, where each student has chosen a book to explore and reflect on individually. The presentation will be divided into two sessions and we'll begin now with the first session. So without further delay, let's continue to our first presenter. The first presenter is Yoga Aditya.
Okay, I would like to explain the book I have read about Woman 8.0, author Nawal El Sadawi. Next. Introduction to the novel, genre social fiction, feminine literature, semi-autobiographical novel. Year published 1975, original Arabic, and 1983 English translation. Publisher Zit Books English edition. Page approximately 128 page. Abstract, deeply moving and powerful novel exploring the harsh realities of female oppression within a patriarchal and authoritarian society. Next. Reading a methodology, method applied an intensive reading method, focusing on reading careful and thoughtfully, with special attention to language, character development, and underlying themes. Format read in a book format, allowing flexibility in choosing reading times and location. Duration lasted for 12 consecutive days, with a daily reading duration of approximately 1 to 2 hours. Environment, most reading done in the evening in a quiet bedroom using a laptop or tablet free from distraction. Next. Reading methodology, note taking, took digital notes using application like Microsoft Word and Notes, focusing on key quotes, turning point, and significant shift in Firdaus character. Emotional engagement. The process was emotionally intense, with occasional pauses for reflection and personal reaction. Supplementation supplemented the novel with academic article and essay related to feminism, Middle Eastern literature, and gender studies to deepen understanding and connect the story to broader socio-political structure. Outcome, albeit full immersion in the novel emotional, cultural, and political levels, making the experience both intellectually and enriching and personally transformative. Next. Pre-reading insight. Before reading, I did not know how deeply rooted and brutal the oppression of women could be within certain patriarchal societies. I was unaware of the extent to which women like Firdaus could be silenced, used, and discarded by the very people who claimed to protect them. I also did know that a story written decades ago in Egypt could feel so painfully relevant today. Agak ke atas, Mar. Geser ke atas, Mar. Bisa nggak? Most of all, I didn't expect that a woman with voice from a prison cell could be louder than any scream. Next. Post reading understanding. After reading, I now understand how structural oppression can shape a woman's entire life from childhood to adulthood, often without her realizing she being systematically silenced. Firdaus' story is not just an individual tragedy, but a reflection of many real women live in societies where patriarchy, poverty, and power imbalance dominance. I've come to I've come to recognize that even within deep suffering there is resistance and that silence can be a form of rebellion. I also learned that reclaiming one's voice even in the face of death is a powerful act of defiance and dignity. Next, future commitment. After reading Woman at Point Zero, I feel more committed to becoming a person who not only recognize in injustice but actively speaks out against it. In the future, I want to contribute to building a world where women are heard, respected, and protected, regardless of the background of circumstances. This novel strengthened my desire to pursue a path that values integrity, critical thinking, and empathy. Firdaus' story reminded me that silence can be dangerous and that using our voice is a responsibility, especially when others are silenced by fear and oppression. Next. Udah. Oh ya, reference Abu Loghud 2002. Do Muslim women really need saving? American anthropologist Cook M. 1993. A woman climbed Islam, creating Islamic feminism through literature. New York Routledge. Hassan W. Hassan Hassan W.S. 2000. Gender and Politics in Nawal El Sadawi Woman at Point Zero. And Badran M. 2009 Feminism in Islam, Secular and Religious Convergences, Oxford, One Word publication. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoga. And next presenter is Lina Kurniati.
Hello, good afternoon. Okay, the book for explained by me is the title Laskar Pelangi. Next, Marta. The genre is fiction, inspirative, and balancing romance. The main themes, educational inequality, and the second, the power of dreams, and the third, community and friendship, and the fourth, hope and perseverance, and the fifth, role of teachers in transformation. The publisher is Bentang Pustaka, and the year of published 2005, and the page is 520 and 9. Next, the reading method. The format is print book, duration 10 days. Usually I read the book 1 until 2 hours of the day. The time is evening because I think in evening I was bored, only scroll TikTok or open Shopee, that's just the place in bedroom or study corner, not digital journey, Microsoft Word and Google Keep. The support is external articles on rural education and poverty in Indonesia. Next. Next. Okay, the findings before I reading this book and after reading this book. Before I reading Laskar Pelangi, I didn't realize how severe the inequality in access to education is in some parts of Indonesia. I was unaware of how children in remote and underprivileged areas must struggle just to attend school, let alone receive quality education. I also didn't expect that a novel called Portary Poverty not as a tragedy but as a backdrop for a relations, a humor and unbreakable spirit. I had not known that a small rural classroom could become a symbol of hope for an entry community. And after I reading the title is Laskar Pelangi, I know and understand that education can be a power for those who have very little else, and I learned how critical the role of precision teachers in shaping the future of their students. I also realize that dreams are not reserved for the privileged. They belong to anyone who dares to believe, even those with the humblest beginning. The story taught me that determination, friendship, and faith can overcome even the harshest limitation. Next. The lesson of learned. Hope is great talk effort. The second, poverty doesn't erase ladder. The third, education is invaluable. The fourth, unity and belief can drive change. The fifth, community support is powerful. Yeah, of course, from Laskar Pelangi, I learned that hope is not something given it is create, talk of effort, belief, and perseverance. I discovered that laughter and kindness and exist even in difficult conditions. I that community can be a source of strength and healing. The novel taught me to appreciate the value of education and to never take it for granted. Most united purpose is capable of achieving extraordinary things. And the next. For the reflection, this novel taught me to be grateful for my education opportunities, to work harder with purpose, to help others pursue their dream, and the last, live with perseverance, empathy, and hope. Okay, for the referensi, there are three, Tilar HAR 2009, and the second Nurgianto B 2009, and the third Hirata 2005. Okay, I think enough. Thank you for the attention. Okay.
Thank you, Lina. And the next one, we have Masayu Nabila.
Okay, thank you, Marta. I will explain the book novel del title Perahu Kertas. Next. Introduction. Perahu Kertas or Paperboat is a novel by Ida Lestari, the genre of historical fiction and social drama. The story revolves around two main characters, Kugi and Kenan, both of whom are artistic and idealistic young individuals. Kugi is an eccentric, aspiring fairy tale writer, while Kenan is a talented painter pressured by his family to pursue a conventional character path. Set in modern-day Indonesia, the novel resonates deeply with young adults navigating to our journey of self-discovery and personal choice. Next. Reading method. Type of method, intensive and reflective reading. So analysis of symbolism, character development, and conflict. Reading duration 5 days to 1 to 2 hours per day. Reading environment, quiet place, personal room, garden of cafe, like instrument music to support a reflective atmosphere. Next, findings. Before reading, unaware of how struggle, social and family pressure can limit life choice. After reading, understood the importance of having the cross to be different. So realized to love and dream require our effort and struggle. Personal insight. First, the value of being honest with oneself is more important than meeting other expansion. So true love means mutual support and growing together. And the last, motivated to stay creative and follow personal value even if the path is uncertain. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Masayu. Next, we have Retno Pratiwi.
Okay, Laskar Pelangi presented by Retno Pratiwi. Next. About title Laskar Pelangi, genre drama, adventure, Bildungsroman, authors Andrea Hirata, page 529 page, may vary by edition. Publisher Bentang Pustaka, year published 2005. Next. Introduction. Laskar Pelangi tells the story of a group of children in a small village in Belitung who strive to achieve their dreams through education. This book teaches us about the importance of enthusiasm, friendship, and hope even in the face of limitations. I chose this book because I wanted to understand how education and community can change a person's life, especially in a simple and challenging environment. Reading this book slowly gave me inspiration and motivation to live each day with enthusiasm. Next. Reading method. Read for 2 weeks using an ebook. Read gradually every day after studying. spend 30 minutes every night reading. This method helps me focus more on understanding the story and its values. Reading slowly allows me to reflect on the profound message about education and friendship. Next, findings. What I didn't know before, I never understood how difficult it is to access education in remote areas, or how enthusiasm and solidarity can overcome this. What I discovered after reading. A fighting spirit, love for teachers, and close friendship are the keys to success, but not from material things, but from the heart and determination. What I learned, education is not just about teaching knowledge, but about broadening horizons and changing destinies. Hope and dreams become a powerful force even in the face of limitations. What I will do in the future, I want to value learning opportunities more, approach challenge with enthusiasm, and maintain friendship and solidarity like those in this story. Thank you.
Thank you, Retno. And next we have Cynthia.
Thank you, Marta. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Cynthia Aprilia Kusmadewi. Today, I'd like to share a brief review of the book 99 Lights in the European Sky, or 99 Cahaya di Langit Eropa by Hanum Salsabila Rais and Rangga Almahendra. Next. Okay, this book is a travel tracing the author's journey through European cities such as Vienna, Cordoba, and Paris. It explores how Islamic civilization once flourished in this region and influenced science, architecture, and philosophy. It also highlights how contemporary Muslim communities maintain their faith while living in a multicultural society. Next, the method. The reading was conducted intensively over the course of 4 weeks or 1 month. The book was read chapter by chapter while taking reflective notes on a significant insight, historical fact, and the transformation of the authors throughout their journey. Several themes were identified and categorized, including spiritual identity, Islamic history, and cultural interaction. Next, finding. Okay, before reading the book, I don't know that cities like Cordoba and Granada had such a rich Islamic faith, or that many Western ideas were influenced by Muslim scholars during the golden age of Islam. And after reading, I learned that being a Muslim in the West requires confidence, openness, and strong moral character. The book taught me that taqwa can be done through action, like showing kindness, sharing knowledge, and living peacefully with others. And from this reading, I learned that Islamic civilization once played a major role in shaping modern Europe. It taught me that being a Muslim in a Western environment requires confidence, open-mindedness, and moral strength. The author also emphasized that taqwa can be done through action, showing good character, sharing knowledge, and living peacefully with others. And this book has inspired me to learn more about Islamic history and to become a bridge between culture by promoting tolerance, education, and integrity in diverse community. Okay, that's all from my presentation about the book 99 Cahaya di Langit Eropa. Thank you for listening. I now return the session to the moderator Marta. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam. Thank you, Cynthia. The next presenter will be Cinta. Cinta, please.
Okay, I will present the result of the novel review, Amba, the question of read. Next. Abstract. Amba, the question of read by Laksmi Pamunjitak is a powerful historical novel that intertwines personal tragedy with national trauma, set against the backdrop of Indonesia's 1965 anti-communist purges. The story follows Amba, a woman whose life is shaped by political violence, exile, and unenduring love that transcends time and distance. Next. Before reading Amba, I did not fully understand the emotional and personal impact of the 1965 political masquerades in Indonesia. After reading Amba, I now understand that historical violence is not just about number of political events, it's about real people whose life, dreams, and relationship are torn apart. Next. Learn from reading. I learned that love and memory are powerful forces that can survive even in the face of political terror and historical erasure. Plus, next, for future, after reading Amba, I feel inspired to become someone who is more aware, empathic, and socially responsible. In the future, I want to contribute to preserving memory and truth with her through writing, education, or public discussion so that past injustices are not forgotten. Next. Reading method. For the reading project, I use an intensive and relative reading method. I read Amba in physical books format, which help me stay focused and more emotionally connect to the story. In addition to reading the novel itself, I also explored secondary sources as historical articles about the 1965 Indonesian tragedy, academic essay on trauma and memory, and interview with the author. This method allow me to absorb the emotional depth of Amba journey, while also examining how personal and political narrative intertwine. Thank you.
Thank you, Cinta. The next one is Nabila.
Next, Marta. Introduction. Total 172. general romantic drama psychological. Author Nadira Shafa. Pages 360. Public Gagas Media. Year published 2021. The novel tells the story of Jira, a terminal teenager and her emotional journey with amorphous herself for 172. They both bring healing peace and acceptance in the face of death. The story is both heartbreaking and uplifting, reflecting on the fragility and emotional strength. Next. Method. Duration. 10 daily reading time 1 to 2. Tell ebook via laptop. Additional material literary review, graph, psycholog, articles. Next. What I did not call before reading. Before reading 172 day, I did relive how a novel or powerful for the physical and emotional journey of someone facing terminal illness. What I know after reading. After reading 172 day, I understand more about the emotional struggles of people facing terminal illness. What I learned that life is not about how long we live, but how we live and connect with others. What I will do in the future. This novel inspired me to live more meaningfully and internationally. I want to follow them and relationship more, express gratitude and love more openly, and be emotionally present for others. I will also continue reading literature that nurtures empathy, reflection, and personal growth. Thank you.
Thank you, Nabila. The next one is Devia Adinda.
All right, thank you, Martha. My name is Devia Nursiawan. Our presentation about reading project. The title is Tentang Kamu by Terelie. All right, in this slide is book information. The title is Tentang Kamu. Author Terelie. Publisher is Republika Penerbit. Year published is 2016. Page is 524. Genre is drama, history, and inspirational. Next. Introduction. Terelie's novel Tentang Kamu, present and inspiring story about life struggle, sincerity, and the meaning of goodness through the main character named is Sriningsih. This character is depicted as a simple woman full of fortitude, who despite facing many sufferings, continues to live life with honesty and compassion through the perspective of Zaman Zulkarnain, a young lawyer investigating Suri legacy. Readers are invited to trace her life journey from Sumbawa to Paris. This review presents readers' reflection on the moral message in the novel, such as the importance of gratitude, continuing to do good, and not giving up easily. The author highlights the strength of Terelie's narrative in conveying life's values emotionally yet realistically. Overall, this novel has a profound impact on readers and is worthy of reflection on the meaning of life and sincerity. Next, reading method. My reading method was flexible, honesty, and self-paced. I did not follow a structured schedule, but rather allocated time to read several chapters during moments of availability, such as in the evening or during short breaks. The duration of my reading time is 1 week. I reading using the physical book. Next. In this novel, before reading novel, I didn't know who Sriningsi was of her importance in this history. And I didn't know unaware that a life journey could hold deep meaning. Next, I didn't expect a simple story to be so inspiring. And last, I could not imagine an Indonesian woman succeeding abroad. Alright, after reading the novel, I learned about Suningsi, a humble and extraordinary woman. I know realistic kindness is never waste, and inspired by sincerity, hard work, and forgiveness. And last, I understood the meaning of struggle and true love. Next, in these novels, I learned resiliency and patience are crucial, and kindness will always be remembered, and live life with sincerity and good intention. And last is every struggle when sincere is meaningful. So I will be done in the future by learning in this novel is be more grateful in life. I never give up easily, and be more honest and compassionate, and less inspire others through small but real action. Next. All right, thank you for attention. I return it to the moderator.
Thank you, Devia. And next one is Salsabila.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Today I will share what I got from the book Bumi Manusia by Pramudia Anantatur. Next. Bumi Manusia is the first novel in Pramudia Anantatur is Tetralogy Buru, which depicts the struggle against colonialism and identity in the Dutch East Indies in the early 20th century. Through the character of Minke, an educated Javanese man, Pramudia critiques racial inequality, colonial oppression, and the struggles of indigenous people in their quest for justice and dignity. The story also explores the complex relationship between Minke and Nyai Ontosoro, an indigenous woman who symbolizes resistance against feudalism and patriarchy. With its rich historical narrative, the novel not only highlights political tensions, but also universal humanism. Next. Okay. Reading method. Reading for one week using physical books, and the reading session was quite long, lasting between 1 until 2 hours a day. In the midst of my busy schedule, because the plot was so interesting, I always made time to read the book at night for a whole week. Next. Overview. What I did know before, indigenous people had almost no access to quality education except for a handful of people like Minke who were considered special. And what I discovered after reading, I have only recently realized how the Dutch colonial system not only exploited resources but also destroyed the dignity of the Ignis people through laws, education, and social stratification. And what I learned, this novel teaches us that human dignity must not be defeated, no matter how harsh the oppression. Minke and Nyai Ontosoro struggle inspires us to dare to fight injustice in our own ways. And last, why I discovered after reading. This novel reveals the cruelty of Dutch colonialism, which not only oppressed the indigenous people physically but also destroyed their dignity through, through racist laws and discriminatory education. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Salsa. Dua, tiga. Next one is Haironi Sanatun.
I will explain the book I read. The title is 5 cm by Doni Dirgantoro. Introduction. The novel 5 cm by Doni Dirgantoro is an inspiring literary work that follows the story of 5 close friends, Ariel, Jafran, Riani, Ian, and Genta. After spending 3 months apart to pursue their personal dreams, they reunite and take on the challenge of climbing Mount Semeru. Their journey is not just about reaching the top, but about overcoming fear, doubt, and personal limitation. The story delivers meaningful messages about perseverance, hard work, and the strength of friendship. It also emphasizes a sense of nationalism, especially in the powerful moment when the friends raised the Indonesian flag at the peak of Mahameru. 5 cm is not just entertaining, it motivates readers to keep believing in their dreams and to never give up. Next. Reading method. Read over 30 days using an ebook. Daily reading duration 30 minutes to 1 hour. Reading time mostly at night after class and activities. Reading place usually in private room. Purposefully slow and reflective reading, not rushed. Next. Findings. What I did not know before reading 5 cm, I didn't realize that mountain climbing is not only about physical endurance, but also a powerful metaphor for life's journey. I didn't know that dreams must be constantly nurtured and kept alive with effort and belief, even when the world felt stagnant. What I discovered after reading, I discovered that true strength comes from within through hope, perseverance, and self-belief. I also realized how valuable support from friends and teamwork is when facing challenges. Friendship and unity are powerful motivators. What learned? Dreams, when kept close to the heart, can provide lasting energy and motivation. Each person, like the characters in the novel, has unique struggles but can overcome them with passion and determination. I also learned that Indonesia's natural beauty is not just a backdrop, it represents struggle, pride, and identity. What I will do in the future. After reading, I feel more motivated to chase my goals without giving up easily, and I want to keep my dreams alive 5 centimeters in front of my forehead and become someone who inspires others through. Thank you.
Thank you, Ais. Next one is Amanda Nurfadila.
Okay, thank you, Marta. I'm Amanda Nurfadila, and today I would like to share with you a powerful and emotional novel I recently read for our English for Business class. The book is titled Laut Bercerita, written by Leila S. Kudori, and it tells the heartbreaking yet inspiring story of Biru Laut, a student activist during Indonesia New Order era. Introduction. The novel Laut Bercerita by Leila S. Kudori tells the story of Biru Laut, a student activist kidnapped during Indonesia New Order era. The story reflects themes of human rights, political appreciation, courage and memory, grief and hope. It portrays the painful impact of dictatorship on youth and families. Next. Reading method. Format. I reading is ebook digital, duration 18 days, 1 until 2 hours daily, time mostly at night, location, bedroom or open space, notes taken digitally via words or notes, also read supporting articles to understand and the historical context. Next. Findings. Before reading, I didn't know the extent of forced disappearances and emotional trauma in 1990s Indonesia. After reading, I understand the depth of political violence and how storytelling prefers truth. Key takeaways: memory resistance. Courage isn't always flawed. Literature can give voice to injustice, and we must never forget history. Next. Thank you. To forget is to betray by Laut Bercerita.
Thank you, Amanda. Next one is Hairil Gibran.
Hello everyone. I will presentation about The Wealth of Nation by Adam Smith. Okay, next. Okay, the first of all, this is introduction. Adam Smith, The Wealth of Nation is a foundation work in classic economy more than a historic text. It remains highly relevant in explaining how modern economy function. The book explores how nations build wealth not merely through money, but through profitable labor, efficient market, and ethical intentions. Adam Smith introduced key concepts such as the efficient labor and the invisible hand, showing how individual self-interest can promote societal benefit. However, Smith also emphasizes justice, work against monopolies, and advocate for government roles in education, infrastructure, and public welfare. Reading this work invited a reflection on how we live, govern, and trade, balancing economic freedom with social responsibility. Next. Method. The reading of The Wealth of Nation was carried out several weeks using a structural and reflective approach. The book was divided into a thematic segment based on its 5 original parts, each analyzed through consistent note-taking and critical reflection to deepen understanding. The reading was contextualized with the 18th century Enlightenment era, highlighting Smith's responses to mercantilism and his advocacy for free market and rational individualism. Secondary literature from economists and historians was also consulted to clarify key concepts like labor value, capital, and state intervention. Inside, we can categorize into 4 areas: prior knowledge, new discoveries, lesson learned, and future intention, providing a well-rounded intellectual engagement with the text. Next. Finding a result. Reading The Wealth of Nations reshapes my understanding of economy. Initially, I only knew Smith through popular notions like the invisible hand, often misquoted, and decontextualized industrial design. Impacted the division of labor as a key productivity and national wealth, but also highlighted the limit of market. Smith advocated for state roles in public goods, went against monopolies, and stressed that economics must serve justice and fairness, not just profit. This reading taught me that economic is a moral and social science. It inspired me to explore technical economic policy reform and to approach economic issue with critical awareness and social responsibility. Well, thank you everyone.
Thank you, Gibran. Next is Siti Uswatun.
Okay, thank you, Marta. My name is Siti Uswatun. Here I will explain the text I have complicated. The first is the title of the novel, Me and My Broken Heart by Wulan Fadi. Next. For abstract, Me and My Broken Heart, my Wulan Fadi tale of Luna and Mika, two ten broke together my broke heart. Luna mourns Juna, while Mika struggled with lingering feeling for Anna, Luna best friend. Their expected meeting at Luna Cafe, Spring connecting. Shared pain, mutual understanding. The caramel macchiato becomes a quick emblem of their emotional healing. Guilt and fair surface, Mika worries about hurting Anna. Luna fears losing her friend. With sharply down, complementary personality and deep honest storytelling. The novel captures the bravery of moving on, letting go of both a person and the memories tied of them. Next. For introduction, it's in the loosey setting of a local cafe. A simple caramel macchiato becomes the catalyst for something far more profound than a flavor. It's trigger a journey in the heart of teenage emotional memory and transformation. Mika, still carrying the remnant of the relationship with Anna, finds herself unexpectedly drawn to Luna. Anna, close friend and the cafe part-time cashier. Luna, navigating her own grief after losing her father, balanced responsibility and vulnerability in a very politic, small and warm greeting. What begins as never exchanging transforms in intimate moment of shared laughter. Hazinette glacier and quick relevation, all under the wakeful presence of that recurring drink. As Mika grapples with guilt and confusion, 30% loyalty to the past, 7% yearning for something new. The narrative's skillful explorer how guilty, humor, and openness intertwine to form a tender, believable tapestry of teenage love. The story remain us that emotional healing after calm, not from grand gesture, but from everyday ritual, honest conversation, and the courage to let go while still honoring what one was. Next. Reading method, because this novel is literally short on 256 pages, I managed to finish it in a single day. However, it still took me quite sometimes as a sequestered in reading between break for my colleague assignment. Even though I read during my free moment, the story emotional, deep, and engineering character made every pause feel worthwhile. Next. Thank you so much, everyone.
The next presenter will be me. Hi, everyone. For this project, I chose the book Ikigai, The Japanese Secret to a Long and Happy Life by Hector Garcia and Frances Morales. And for the introduction to the novel, Ikigai is a reason for being. It's like a reason you wake up in the morning, and this book explores the concept through a real life elderly that lives in Japan, in Okinawa. And the reading method, I read over the span of 1 month using an ebook because of my academic workload, and I couldn't read it in long sessions, and ebook makes it easier to highlight things on the phone. And the second one is short reading sessions during free times. I did most of my reading at night or on the weekends because those are what I thought were the quietest times. And the third one is not an intense continuous read. Because I wasn't rushing, I had the time to absorb the meaning of the book. As so I wasn't just reading, I was actually reflecting and implying all of the tips from the book. And the fourth one is supported deeper emotionally. And this method helped me fully absorb the lessons and reflect on my own lifestyle. And what I had from this book is I had more time to think about how the ideas fit into my life and the findings. Well, the meaningful things that I found from the book is that I thought Ikigai was just a popular word. I found this book back in 2018, I think, and I thought it was just something that people made up, but turns out it's deeply rooted in Japanese life. And the second one, what I discovered after reading the book, I realized it's not the big goals that keep us going. It's actually the small things, because those are what make a meaningful life. Simple things like talking to your friends, having strong social, and just being with the person that you love, the people that you love. And the third one, what I learned from the book is that purpose does not have to be something big. It can come from small routines. Yes, it's included with writing, journaling, writing in your journals, and talking to people, helping them, or even just enjoying a cup of tea in the morning, a cup of coffee, a cup of milk. And that's just all about being present in your life. And what I will do in the future is that I want to live with more intention. I want to do things slowly. I want to be in the moment, and I want to write more things, write what I feel, because I used to write down my stuff that bothered me when I was younger, and it helped me feel a bit more relieved. And now after this book, I'm thinking of writing more. And the fact that this book shows us that living slowly helps us to live a long, healthy life is amazing. And the most important thing is I want to stop rushing through life. People nowadays keep putting through their life on other people's life. And then people keep saying that we have to get married by the age of 25, have kids, and do this and do that. No, your life is your life. It's yours. Don't let other people control it. And the last one, to wrap up this presentation, I just want to say a meaningful life does not require it to be exciting. Sometimes it's quiet, steady, but it's full of heart. Thank you for listening. And the next one is Dea Aprilia Putri.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, first of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Dea Aprilia Putri. Today I would like to share my reading experience about a very emotional, inspiring, and meaningful novel entitled Sang Pemimpi, written by Andrea Hirata. Next. Abstract. This novel tells the story of three boys who fight poverty with dreams and education. It inspires readers to believe that anyone, no matter their background, has the right to hope and success. The story combines humor and struggle, reminding us to value friendship, persistence, and power of learning. Next. Introduction. Sang Pemimpi by Andrea Hirata. This novel follows the inspiring journey of three teenagers, Ikal, Arai, and Gibran from the island of Belitung. Despite growing up in poverty, they pursue education and dare to dream big. Through their story, Andrea Hirata highlights the power of hope, resilience, and friendship in overcoming life's hardship. Next. Reading method. I used the incentive reading method, reading deeply for 5 nights through the 3 hours per night to understand the novel message and character development. I highlighted key quotes, took notes, and reflected emotionally. I also used article and interview to explore its social context. This method deepened my understanding and personal connection to Sang Pemimpi. Next. Findings. After reading, I didn't realize how the novel could portray poverty, limited education, and hope so powerfully. I had no idea how meaningful dreams were for people in rural areas like Belitung. After reading, I understood that dreams are a form of resistance. Education is not just a path to success, it's a symbol of freedom and change. The characters showed me how powerful positivity, principle, and mentor can be. Next. Listen, learners, success is not defined by wealth, but by perseverance. Everyone deserves to dream and pursue a better life. Education can break a cycle of poverty. A small act of kindness or encouragement can change someone's life. What next? This story inspired me to be more grateful and motivated my own education. I want to help the other believe in their dreams and never give up, just like Arai encouraged Ika and Jimbron. I hope to live with purpose, resilience, and empathy. Next. That's all my presentation. Thank you to moderator Marta and classmates for your attention and time.
Next is Ilham.
Baik, I will present my novel which is about the Land of Five Towers. Next. Introduction. The novel Negeri Five Menara by Ahmad Wadi follows Alif Fikri, a teenage boy sent to a modern prison in East Java. At Pondok Madani, Alif meets five close friends and embraces the mantra Manjada Wajada. He strives, success, teams, dreams, and perseverance, brotherhood, and leadership, cultural diversity, power of education. Next, reading method, format, printed book, duration 12 days, 1 to day, theme afternoon and evening, place study desk or quick corner, not journal via Word and handwritten, focus, themes, quiz, turning point, sport, psychology, and pesantren culture reference. Next, findings before reading. Din realize pesantren call shop dream and global outlook, surprised by the strong message of unity and preservation. After reading, pesantren place of ambition, not just legislation. Dream can rise from humble place. Brotherhood can shape and future. Next, lesson learned. Success needs discipline, not just intelligence. Cultural diversity is a strength. Believe in yourself and trust the process. Passion more than background. Keep dreaming despite limitation. Next, reflection. This not motivation. Approach live with determination. Nurture my goal with effort and fight. Appreciation mentor and friends. Live the spirit of Manjada Wajada. Believe the effort open every door. Next. Thank you very much.
The next is Anita. Anita, please.
Thank you, Marta. English for Business. Segaras. Next. Introduction. The novel Sagaras de Lestari is the final installment of the Supernova series. It tells the spiritual journey of Zara, also known as Eltra, who seeks clarity, peace, and healing from past trauma. Set in Bali, this novel blends marxism, emotional depth, and metaphysical themes. Through Zara, inner quest reader are invited to reflect on the nature of existence and personal transformation. Next. Reading method. Reading was done over a period of 15 days with a duration of 1 to 2 hours per session. Format. Physical book. Time usually at night. Location. Quiz place. Bedroom. And peaceful corners. Notes were taken using application Microsoft Word and Notes. Focusing on Zara, symbolic and emotional journey. Reading was supported with references of psychology, trauma and spirituality. Next. Finding. Before reading, did not expect fiction could be a medium for deep spiritual healing. Had little awareness that Indonesian novel could explore metaphysical and methodological depth. After reading, learned that healing is non-linear and highly personal. Understood the role of silence, surrender, and emotional reflection. This covered the power of fashion to foster self-awareness. Next. Lesson learned. 1. True strength comes vulnerability and courage to face pain. 2. Silence and reflection are essential in a fast-to-page world. 3. We are deeply connected to each other, to nature, and to our pets. 4. Pets is not something we cast, it is something we return to. Next. Thank you.